Welcome to another dialogue of our series Thinking Without Banisters of our research lab GLab 2B. Today I spoke with Ipinoluwa Oluwafouwokanm. She's from Nigeria, a digital peace builder. She protects the youth and she adds in this dialogue really unique perspectives, how she sees the world, how people in Nigeria see the world, and how is the situation locally. One thing is clear, that when change needs to be done, you need to empower the youth, you need to encourage them, and it starts with them. So thank you for listening. Today in our dialogue series, Thinking Without Banisters, I'm joining by Ipinoluwa Oluwafouwokanm. A very warm welcome to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
One of the things we pursue in this type of dialogue series we're doing here at GLab 2B is to learn from one and another and to open up new perspectives, to see the world in through different viewpoints or lenses, especially when it comes to global or local challenges as well we face today. Ipinoluwa, how do you currently see the world from where you live?
Okay, thank you very much. From my own perspective of the world that I live, we live in a global age right now, and it's amazing how things evolve and change quickly, including human characters and behavior. So, from my own perspective, we have seen over time how human beings evolved and change in behavior. From my home culture down here, it's a culture that we first respect respect from one generation to the other. But with the new trend of technology, it has been a different thing entirely that we're trying to cope with. So that's the word from my end.
Okay, I mean, if you, I mean, of course, we are here in Europe, and sometimes we have like too much our own perspective of the world. We think what we see is like it is sometimes, and we could not be more wrong because there are a lot of perspectives on how we can see the things, right? So. Do you see more opportunities or more challenges in the world right now? How do you see that?
Okay, I think the world is filled with both. There are new opportunities, new challenges that we are facing every day. And part of the new opportunities, I think technology has provided new opportunities for us that we are not
Yeah.
restricted to the traditional ways of living, that it is now dynamic. But technology also brings about new challenges that we have to face daily, how to cope with internet, the fraud, the likes, the phishing, and the likes of that, how to cope with it. I think the world is evolving with new
Hmm.
challenges and opportunities also. So from here, I can connect with you. It's a beautiful thing. And also, well, navigating through those opportunities, we have to face the challenges of it and see how we can overcome the challenges as humans.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that because what our perspective is here most of the time we have a lot of information, we have a lot of technology, we have a lot of knowledge as well, and I think sometimes it's like kind of overwhelming as well when we think about artificial intelligence. If we think about social media, which is a big topic, we will talk as well later in the topic of the digital worlds. But it's a more kind of pessimistic view we have here because of all those. We see a lot of global conflicts. We see climate change as well. But of course, you said before when we started this dialogue, it's raining now in Nigeria. Is it because of the raining season right now, or is it just a normal rainy day?
I think it's because of the rainy season right now, Nigeria is in the rainy season period, so we experience a lot of rain these days.
Okay, so Well, when I think about Nigeria, of course, I think about yeah, it's African powerhouse. We could say in a way. You have the biggest population in your country. You have one of the biggest economies as well in Africa. But what comes to my mind specifically is the diversity you have in your country. I think so. You have around, and here I try to prepare myself as good as possible. But you have around 250 ethnic groups. That means, well, in my point of view, it's like a huge potential in terms of diversity to drive change and to make an impact. How do you see that from your side?
Yeah, Nigeria is a beautiful country because we are filled with diversity, and one of these languages here is diversity with unity. Yes, we have more than 300 tribes in Nigeria, and
Okay.
we are all brought under the same government, under the same flag, under the same umbrella, and it sends a kind of unity amongst us. I always say that the most time I've seen my country united is during football. It's beautiful to see, and this has helped us to shape our sense of unity as a country. I think that's helped some of the things that we do together has brought us together as a country. We have different cultures, by the way. We have
Mhm.
different tribes with their unique culture. You go to this part, you see the Yorubas with their unique culture. You go to the north, you see the Hausas with their unique culture. It's a beautiful thing. But I think we've been able to some extent bridge the gap through sports, through cultural displays, and through many activities. We've been able to bridge that gap of creating a sense of unity. And I think one powerful thing Nigeria is doing is through the National Youth Service Corps, the NYC. I don't know if you've heard about that scheme. It's a scheme that sends the
Maybe
graduates.
you can, yeah, maybe you can explain that. Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. Yeah, it's a scheme that sends graduates from different universities to different states in Nigeria. For example, I studied in the west, in the southwest, but I was sent to the north central for 1 year service. This is to bring about unity in diversity, to for me to experience other people's
Mhm.
culture within Nigeria. So sense a sense of unity that, oh, this is other part of me that I've not experienced before. So that scheme is a 1 year scheme that sent Nigeria graduates to different parts of Nigeria aside from where they are from. So this helps to bring a sense of unity amongst us, to see other people, to say other people, this people is not from my tribe, yet we are the same. We feel the same pain, we feel the same sense of unity as Nigeria. So I think these are the things that we are doing in the country to build our sense of unity and togetherness.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's definitely a huge potential as I understand, and the country sees that as an opportunity. Of course, there when we talk about intercultural cooperation, it's not about different nations, it's as well about the different tribes you have. So I imagine it's a tough task to get all in the same boat, right, and try to go in the same direction.
Yeah.
Because um, in the digital world, I mean, how is internet and technology helping in this intercultural cooperation between the different ethnic groups you have in Nigeria? I mean, how is the digital world in Nigeria? How is the interaction?
On the Yeah, technology has really helped our digital interaction positively and negatively. I'll say that. On the
Hmm.
positive side, technology has bridged us together. Like it has broken down the walls of
Hmm.
traveling, having to travel from one state to the other to experience that culture. You just have to probably watch some of the festivals that are being done. So some of these festivals before technology, before transmission, internet, they're not being transmitted online. So it's just secular within the community. So you might not even know that this other tribe exists next to you and they do this. But with technology now, we see the transmission, like the one we had lately, that's the Ojude Oba. So
Hmm.
we see the different diverse cultures coming out, displaying their cultures. Even though I'm not there at that moment, I could see what is going on. And it has helped me to appreciate other people's culture, other people's tradition. And the negative part of it is when it comes to the internet and comes to this social and political space with internet technology as uh, giving everybody space and should I say
Hmm.
anonymity, like I don't know you, I'm behind my phone typing, you don't know me, I can say anything and you can say anything. So it has kind of give that sense that I can say anything, anybody can talk anything. And we've seen that thing happens probably when our tribe plays, especially during our elections. Like, oh, I'm supporting this tribe, and we can see how technology has been used to attack each other in that kind of situation. So that's why I said it has really played a positive and negative role for us.
Hmm. Hmm. Of course, yeah. Okay, thank you. Perfect. So when I think about Nigeria as well, I think you have a lot of young people in percentage of your population. So
Yeah.
youth protection in the internet is an important thing right now, right?
Yes, exactly. It's a very important thing, and we need a lot of stronger policy around that to protect the youth. Nigeria has a large population of youth and energetic ones, energetic, creative ones. But our social media, our technology, we need policy to safeguard us. We need policy that helps to drive what we see, what we hear. Because I
Hmm.
believe that what you listen to affects your mindset, affects how you think. So, and the this kind of unity that's been populated on our technology internet has not really been helping the youth to see the right way with right focus. So I believe policy should be put in place, and if they should strengthen more policies to help the youth in technology, in gaining technical skills, and beyond that in living digital responsible life. So I think that's where we are right now, ensuring that we
Yeah.
are not using the technology in a way that damages our future. I always tell people that internet does not forget. So how do we engage responsibly as a youth? We have massive youth on the internet, massive. Nigerians are very active with technology. So how do we ensure that we use them right in the right manner that not just affect our surroundings but affect us individually? So these are the things, these are the policy and advocacy I think we are coming up with to strengthen our engagement.
Hmm. Okay, thank you very much for that insight. It's really interesting to see what is the current situation on your points of view. Of course, when we talk about youth protection, I mean here, especially, I can of course always represent only what we have here in Europe. We have more the tendency to say technology use is in the early stages for the kids, for the youth, is important. But on the other hand, we try kind of protect as well from social media. Mainly here, what we use mainly is Facebook. I hear a lot of TikTok. I hear Instagram. As well, LinkedIn is getting really big. So that there's a lot of information out there, and of course, when we think about, we see ourselves as a democratic nation, as a democratic society. So what we try to do is that to open up internet in a way that everybody can speak, everybody can represent his opinion, right? These are for us these are the basic rules. But on the other hand, of course, as you say, there's a lot of policy making necessary, and to guide the conversation in a, let's say, kind of positive way, and not try to make bad content bigger than it should be, right? Is
Yeah.
that in Nigeria the same, that when there are a lot of topics which are maybe we could say not with positive intent, like let's talk about fake news or any disinformation. Is that in Nigeria as well, like that?
Yeah. Okay. We the youth. I think general population of Nigeria we are mostly on Facebook, and the
Hmm.
other larger part is on X and TikTok and
Okay. Yeah.
Instagram. I think we use a lot of social media in Nigeria, and this has really, I think, it has really exposed us to a lot, and our policy, yeah, we have policies that restrict hate speech and the likes, but these are not really reflective in our daily use of the internet. Because we need to start defining what is hate speech and the category of things that falls under it. And when criticism, when you criticize, how do you do it? And the like. So I think that's the major issue here. That's why we've not been really getting results in that aspect. Because though we have policy that states, oh, this is the limit, that's the limit, but as Nigerians, are we like, is there a sanction for that? I think we
Yeah.
really need to engage the stakeholders, um, the technology stakeholders like Meta and the likes of them. I'm sure there's policy around Meta that if you post some post, they bring it down. But there are still some languages that applies in this country, which is not really right. And I think our governments are trying to improve on that policy. I think sometimes during one of our president election, X, formerly Twitter, was banned in Nigeria because of the
Mhm.
rate the youth were using it, and kind of hate speech, hate comments that was coming out of Twitter then was alarming. So they had to place a ban on that to really restrain it. But I feel like it's not a lasting solution. We have some bans, some days, but it's not a lasting solution. Rather
Yeah.
than placing this ban, I think we should re-educate, reorientate our mind on how we use these platforms.
Okay, because in terms of, I mean, in terms of artificial intelligence, is that in Nigeria already a thing? Because here, what we can see a lot now is that the percentage of content which is AI generated gets more and more. That means the authenticity of human created content gets it's less, it's less by the time, and we see much more artificial content created which is not real, so it's showing internet as an artificial phenomena, right? Is getting more and more artificial now, especially in Europe, what we see here, because there are much more contents created through AI. Is that in Nigeria as well, like that, or how do I have to imagine that?
So I think AI has got involved in every world these days. It's everywhere. AI, the use of AI content, video, the edit, every, including in the academic. That's the most alarming part of it. You see research papers coming out with AIs and the likes of that. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And in Nigeria, we've seen content, especially written content. But I still feel for us, when it comes to video content, I still feel like
Mhm.
our creativity still speaks in, mostly for us here. But in the written content, not so much, especially in the younger generation. But if we are talking about the older generations, I believe they still stick to the traditional way. They've not really gotten used to this, our AI. But we, the younger generations, I think AI has gotten a hold of us. If you want to make a correction, you just put it on ChatGPT, oh, do this, and the human touch of it is gone. We are losing in writings, we are really losing the human touch. But for Nigeria, I believe when it comes to video content, we are still exploring our human creativity.
Yeah, understand. Okay, so the big question, of course, here is what can we do? What can we do to protect the youth? How can we educate them? Um,
I personally, I teach at the university, and of course, the key, or I would say, the difficulty, we could say as well, is to try to talk the language of the youth, and to see how you can engage them. Right. In the past, the professor or the educator had the knowledge, and then transmitted or trespassed this knowledge to the students, so to the youth. Now information is everywhere, knowledge is everywhere. The question is, uh, are the or is the youth or others, the younger generation, searching to see or questioning the content they find out there, or trying to discuss that in the internet, for example.
Okay. How our education can improve that? I think we need to move beyond just teaching our youth how to use Microsoft Word or Google Docs, or going deeper beyond solving math problems to constructing in good English. We really need to move beyond that into digital communication, digital literacy. Today, we must include like emotional intelligence, conflict management, critical thinking in our day-to-day life, in our school curriculum. Schools should integrate peace education. I'm a huge advocate of peace education into coursework. This teaches students how to disagree without attacking, how to spot fake news, how to identify and undo cyberbullying or other types of online violence and abuse. So I believe that when we use real life stimulations, online debates, role plays, and different discussions in our education, not just the traditional way of teaching, this helps students to practice digital empathy and responsible communication. So education has a lot to bring in, and we need to look beyond the traditional method of doing things into looking at our daily reality now. What's our daily reality? Our reality is that beyond solving math problems, we have emotional intelligence issues. Beyond solving constructing good English, we have conflict management issues. That students don't know how to manage conflict, don't know how to relate with each other with their differences. So we need to bring this into our education system. So it's not just about keeping them safe online, it's about preparing them to be responsible global citizens.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I really liked your last sentence, of course, what you said before as well, but specifically your last sentence, because it's sometimes it's in terms of responsibility, right? To one thing is to say, okay, we need to find second sources to find this information or to validate content. We need to question what we see. The thing is, of course, and what I said maybe before, if we have more and more artificial content which is created from scratch, and could have any information out there or make appear any information valid or true, then of course this responsibility on one hand to create this type of content, but as well on the other hand to consume this kind of content. We have to question it, but we have to have the energy as well, of course, to consume this content in a way that we think critically, right? And this is maybe the responsibility we need to have in future now and in future as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe just okay. Now let's imagine a little bit. You're in a position now. In a maybe you already are, but you're in a really powerful position now, and you can change the country's educational system to promote peace, to promote inclusion, to promote this kind of responsibility. You said before. What would you do? What are your ideas? What should change? What would you change?
Yeah, for me, like I said, I'm a huge advocate of peace education because it goes beyond. It's not abstract.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to let people know. It's not abstract
Yeah.
because it goes beyond. what's helping us beyond the peripheral to our mindset, to our thinking. It's really renewed us. So if there's one major change I would like to input is to integrate peace education and civic responsibility as a core subject,
Mhm.
not optional, not just a topic in a course, but as a consistent, evaluated part of our curriculum from our primary school to our tertiary level. Because many young people today leave school with certificates without the life skills to help them resolve conflict, engage with people with that are different from them, or even understand their rights and responsibilities as a citizen. It's very alarming because many youth do not even understand who they
Mhm.
are, their rights, and they just engage the internet. Oh, because it's fun. My friend posts, repost, and oh, it's now an influencer. I can do the same, irrespective of what their action is causing to the other people. I always tell people that freedom of speech does not make you to infringe on other people's rights. So with this right education, who teach our younger generation to become responsible people and bridge this gap that we are creating. It's also I would also love to see a more inclusive teaching practices that reflects the reality of our learners, regardless of their tribe, religion, gender, or socioeconomic background. In Nigeria, the kind of education we have here is very unique. That if you bring someone from the north and from the south together in one education space, in some cases, you see a large gap between them due to where they're coming from. They really don't have the right access to education, and some that have the right access don't have the right access to read and write, but we've not matured in our emotional intelligence and how we relate. That's why it's so easy to turn one person to the other person, that oh, we are divided because we've not been taught right. We've not been taught right. So I think real learning, when students see themselves in what they are learning, they are more likely to develop a sense of belonging and respect for themselves. So beyond the classroom, we should engage in community service. Beyond spending 8 hours in the classroom, 6 hours, we should take them out, let them see the community, let them engage in community service and intercultural exchange as part of school life. Because in Nigeria, we spend most of our years in school. From primary school, you spend 6 years, secondary school, 6 years, tertiary, you spend 4 years. You still go for masters 1 year, 3 years. Half of your life, half of your youthful life, you've done it during your school period. So if you don't build the right skills and knowledge during that time, it's going to create a huge gap.
Yeah. No, a lot of interesting ideas. In that case, communication is absolutely key to drive this kind of responsibility, to drive an educational system which speaks the language of the youth and tries to educate them in the right way. So I would say that the very least what we can do, and maybe what we must do, is to talk and listen to each other. This is absolutely the fundamental, right?
Yeah.
And Ipinoluwa, today you've helped us to do exactly that. I think. Thank you very much for this dialogue, for your insights, for your perspective, and your voice.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.